If you are over 60 and think walking is the only safe way to stay fit, I want you to pause for a second, because what I'm about to share could completely change the way you move, feel, and live. Imagine being stronger, more energetic, and more mobile than you are right now. Not in some unrealistic, over-the-top way, but in practical, achievable steps that a real surgeon actually recommends. Yes, that's right. These aren't just random exercises I picked from the internet. These are movements that medical professionals who deal with aging bodies every single day say are better than walking alone. Now, I know walking has its benefits. It gets your heart pumping, it's easy, it's low impact, and it's something almost everyone can do. But here's the thing. If you only walk, you're missing out on the kind of strength, stability, and balance that keeps you independent and active for decades to come. Walking is good, but good isn't enough when it comes to preserving your quality of life, your independence, and your overall health as you age. That's why I want you to stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to have 5 simple, surgeon-approved exercises that are not only safer than walking in certain ways, but also far more effective at keeping your body strong, resilient, and capable, even past 60. And I promise, you won't need fancy equipment, long gym sessions, or anything complicated. Just a little space, your body, in a few minutes a day. Let's start by talking about walking, because for a lot of people over 60, walking feels like the ultimate go-to exercise. It's easy, it's safe, it's low impact, and for years you've probably been told that it's the best way to stay active. But here's the reality. Walking alone, while helpful for getting your blood moving and keeping your joints limber, doesn't do nearly enough to keep your body truly strong or resilient as you age. Think about it for a moment. When you walk, your body is performing a repetitive motion that mainly works certain leg muscles, but it doesn't really challenge your balance, it doesn't push your core, and it doesn't build the kind of strength that allows you to get up from a chair, carry groceries, or prevent yourself from falling if you trip. And falling, by the way, is one of the leading causes of serious injury in people over 60. Surgeons see it all the time, and they've noticed a pattern. People who rely solely on walking often have weaker stabilizing muscles, less bone density, and slower reaction times, which can lead to accidents that could have been prevented. That's not to say walking is useless. It's absolutely better than sitting all day or leading a completely sedentary lifestyle. Walking helps your heart, your circulation, your mood, and it keeps your joints moving. But here's the catch. It doesn't do enough for the muscles that support your balance, the muscles that help you get out of a chair without wincing or straining, and the muscles that protect your bones and joints from the natural wear and tear that comes with aging. When we walk, we use our legs in a mostly forward motion, and unless you're doing hills, stairs, or weighted walking, the challenge to your body is minimal. Over time, minimal challenge equals minimal gains, and minimal gains equal vulnerability. Your body needs stress in the right ways, controlled, safe stress that stimulates the muscles and bones to stay strong, agile, and capable. Without it, even a simple slip can become dangerous. Think about everyday tasks that you might take for granted. Bending to tie your shoes, standing from a low chair, reaching for something on a high shelf, climbing a flight of stairs. These require strength, balance, coordination, and core stability. Walking alone doesn't train these skills effectively, which is why it's so common for people over 60 to feel themselves getting weaker even though they've been staying active by walking every day. And that's exactly why experts, including surgeons, are saying we need to rethink the idea that walking is the ultimate exercise for older adults. There's a big difference between activity and effective strength training. Activity gets you moving. Effective strength training prepares your body for life. And life doesn't just involve moving in a straight line. It involves bending, twisting, lifting, and stabilizing yourself in ways that walking rarely challenges. One of the reasons walking is so popular is because it feels safe, and people are afraid of injury. That fear is understandable, but the irony is that avoiding more challenging exercises because they feel risky can actually increase your risk of injury over time. Weak muscles, poor balance, and reduced reaction speed make accidents more likely, not less. Surgeons and physical therapists alike emphasize that controlled, targeted exercises, done correctly, are far safer and more beneficial than relying solely on walking. They provide the kind of support your body needs to maintain independence. When you focus on exercises that strengthen multiple muscle groups at once, improve balance, and enhance flexibility and coordination, you're not just working out, you're investing in your future mobility and safety. And the best part is, these exercises don't have to be complicated or time consuming. You don't need to lift heavy weights or spend hours at the gym. With just a few simple, surgeon approved moves, you can transform the way your body feels and functions, making walking not your only option, but a complement to a much more effective, comprehensive approach to fitness. By thinking beyond walking, you're giving yourself the best chance to stay active, independent, and vibrant for years to come, ensuring that age becomes a number and not a limitation.
Now, let's dive into something that often surprises people. Not all exercises are created equal, especially when it comes to keeping your body strong and safe after 60. I know it sounds simple to just move, to get up and do some kind of physical activity, but here's the truth. There are specific exercises that surgeons and physical therapists actually recommend for older adults because they target the areas most vulnerable to weakness, injury, and falls. And that's the key point here. These aren't random exercises I'm telling you to try. These are movements that medical professionals who work with aging bodies day in and day out say are more effective than walking alone. When you start incorporating surgeon-approved exercises into your routine, you're not just getting stronger, you're improving your balance, boosting your joint health, and protecting yourself from injuries that become more common as we age. Let's break this down a bit, because I know you might be wondering what makes an exercise better than walking. Walking is linear. It moves your legs forward and back, your arms swing a little, your heart rate goes up slightly, and that's great. But your body is capable of so much more than just forward motion. As we get older, our muscles, joints, and even our nervous system need stimulation that walking alone just doesn't provide. For example, exercises that challenge your balance teach your body how to react when you stumble or shift your weight unexpectedly. Exercises that work multiple muscle groups at once, like your legs, glutes, core, and upper body, help you maintain functional strength, the kind that lets you stand up from a low chair, carry groceries, or even pick something up off the floor without straining. And exercises that gently load your bones, like squats or resistance movements, help maintain bone density, which walking only partially addresses. Surgeons recommend these kinds of movements because they directly reduce the risks we all face as we age. Weak muscles, poor balance, and fragile bones are the main contributors to falls and injuries in older adults. That's why doing exercises that only touch one or two muscle groups or don't challenge your body's stability is simply not enough. Now, I know you might be thinking, I don't want to push myself too hard. I don't want to hurt myself. That's completely understandable, and it's why surgeon-approved exercises are designed to be safe yet effective. They focus on controlled, precise movements that strengthen your body without putting it at unnecessary risk. You're not trying to become a professional athlete here. You're building the strength and stability you need for everyday life, which is actually far more valuable. One of the big misconceptions is that older adults need to avoid resistance or strength-based exercises for fear of injury. In reality, avoiding them can make your body weaker over time. A stronger, more balanced body is a safer body. And that's why medical experts emphasize these movements. They help prevent injuries, improve mobility, and make walking, climbing stairs, or even standing up from a chair much easier and safer. Another huge benefit of surgeon-approved exercises is that they help correct imbalances in the body. As we age, it's common to favor one side of the body over the other, or to rely more on certain muscles while neglecting others. Over time, this creates weaknesses, poor posture, and increased risk of falls. Targeted exercises help fix these imbalances, ensuring that both sides of your body are strong and coordinated. And it doesn't stop there. These exercises also engage your nervous system, improving your reaction times and coordination. That means if you trip, slip, or reach awkwardly for something, your body is better prepared to respond, keeping you safer in everyday life. Many people are surprised to learn that this combination of strength, balance, and coordination training is actually more effective at improving long-term mobility than just walking. Walking keeps your heart and lungs healthy, but it doesn't strengthen your muscles enough to support joints, protect bones, and maintain the agility you need for life. Surgeon-approved exercises fill that gap. The beauty of these movements is that you don't need a fancy gym or expensive equipment. Simple tools like a sturdy chair, resistance bands, or even your own body weight can give you all the benefits you need. It's not about intensity or lifting heavy. It's about consistency, proper form, and targeting the right muscles in the right way. And because these exercises are safe when done correctly, you can do them regularly without fear of overexertion or injury, unlike some high-impact activities that might put your joints at risk. Over time, this kind of focused exercise routine transforms your body. Your muscles become stronger, your balance improves, your bones get the stimulation they need, and your confidence in movement skyrockets. You start moving differently because your body is stronger and more coordinated. You stand taller, you walk steadier, and you do everyday activities with more ease. That confidence alone is a huge quality of life improvement, and it's something walking by itself rarely provides. The key takeaway here is that if you're over 60 and you want to stay independent, active, and injury-free, incorporating surgeon-approved exercises into your routine is far more effective than relying on walking alone. These movements target the exact areas that need strengthening, improve balance, and enhance coordination, which ultimately helps you stay safe, agile, and capable in your daily life. By combining these exercises with walking, you're not just moving, you're actively building a stronger, more resilient body that supports your independence, protects against injury, and keeps you feeling younger and more vibrant than you might expect.
Now let's talk about the importance of targeted strength and why certain exercises, especially for those of us over 60, can be absolute game changers when it comes to maintaining independence and overall health. We've already discussed how walking alone doesn't provide enough stimulus for your muscles, your balance, or your bones. But now I want to dive deeper into why specific targeted exercises are so essential. Think of it this way. Your body is like a house, and your muscles, joints, and core stability are the foundation. Walking is like sweeping the floor. It keeps things tidy and moving, but it doesn't reinforce the foundation itself. Targeted exercises, on the other hand, actually strengthen that foundation so it can support you for the long term, no matter what life throws at you. One of the most significant benefits of these exercises is the way they strengthen your core. Now, I don't just mean your abs. I'm talking about the entire midsection, your lower back, obliques, glutes, and even your hips. This is the powerhouse of your body. A strong core stabilizes your movements, prevents falls, improves posture, and supports virtually every activity you do, from bending to tie your shoes to reaching for something overhead. Surgeons emphasize core strength because it protects the spine and helps prevent injuries that become more common as we age. And here's the thing most people don't realize. Walking barely engages your core in a meaningful way. Yes, your body moves and your abs contract a little, but it's not nearly enough to strengthen this crucial area. That's why targeted exercises like modified planks, bridges, or seated rotations are so effective. They engage multiple muscles at once, train your stability, and strengthen the support system that keeps your entire body balanced and functional. Another area these exercises hit that walking doesn't is your glutes and hip stabilizers. These muscles play a huge role in mobility, balance, and even fall prevention. Weak glutes are one of the main reasons older adults struggle with activities like climbing stairs or standing up from a low chair. And weak hips can lead to instability when you're walking on uneven surfaces, which increases your risk of injury. By focusing on exercises that target these areas, think squats, hip lifts, or seated leg raises, you're directly strengthening the muscles that walking alone leaves underused. Surgeons love recommending these movements because they have a proven impact on overall function. And the benefits don't stop with strength. Many of these exercises improve your range of motion and flexibility. When you get older, joints can stiffen, muscles tighten, and movement can feel restricted.
Exercises that gently stretch and strengthen at the same time not only improve your strength, but also help keep your joints mobile. This means tasks that used to feel difficult, like bending to tie your shoes or reaching overhead to grab something from a shelf, become much easier and safer. And the beauty of targeted exercises is that they can be scaled to your own ability level. You don't have to jump, lift heavy weights, or push yourself beyond what feels safe. Even small, controlled movements done consistently can build strength, balance, and increase confidence in your movements. Another huge advantage is the way these exercises train your nervous system alongside your muscles. When you do movements that challenge your balance and coordination, your brain has to pay attention, send signals to the right muscles, and adjust in real time. This not only makes your body stronger, but also sharper. You start reacting faster if you stumble, you move more fluidly, and your risk of falls decreases significantly. Walking, as beneficial as it is for the cardiovascular system, simply doesn't challenge your nervous system in the same dynamic way. Now let's talk about bones. As we age, bone density naturally decreases, which makes fractures more likely. Weight-bearing exercises like squats, step-ups, or even gentle resistance movements provide the stress your bones need to stay dense and strong. Walking is weight-bearing, yes, but it's relatively light impact, and over time, your bones may not get enough stimulus to prevent thinning. Targeted exercises provide that crucial benefit without the need for high-impact activity that could strain your joints. One of the most overlooked benefits of these exercises is how they build functional strength you actually use in daily life. Functional strength is what allows you to carry groceries, lift a grandchild, move furniture safely, or simply get up from a chair without hesitation. Walking doesn't train functional strength to the same degree because it doesn't simulate the variety of movements your body needs to perform every day. And here's a little secret: when you strengthen your body in these specific ways, other activities, including walking, become easier and more enjoyable. Your endurance improves because your muscles can support your movements better. You move more efficiently, and the fatigue that might have set in during a simple stroll decreases dramatically. The confidence boost is immediate too. When you know your body is strong, your balance is solid, and your joints are supported, you move differently. You carry yourself taller, take stairs more easily, and even stand longer without discomfort. This is the kind of independence many people over 60 worry about losing, and targeted exercises are one of the most effective tools to preserve it. Finally, these exercises aren't complicated. You don't need a gym membership or heavy equipment. Many movements can be done in your living room with a chair, a wall, or even your own body weight. The key is consistency and control. Performing each exercise with proper form, focusing on the muscles being worked, and gradually increasing difficulty as your strength improves. Over time, you'll notice a profound change in your body, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. You'll feel capable, confident, and ready to move through life without hesitation, knowing you're taking care of yourself in the ways that really matter.
Now let's talk about one of the best things about these exercises. They don't require fancy equipment, expensive gym memberships, or even a ton of space. So many people over 60 assume that staying fit means you need machines, heavy weights, or complicated routines that take hours, but that's just not true. The reality is you can get incredibly effective, surgeon-approved workouts right at home with minimal equipment. And that's a game changer because accessibility is one of the biggest barriers to staying active as we age. Think about it. If getting stronger and safer requires a trip to a gym or a lot of gear, it's much easier to skip it. But when all you need is a sturdy chair, a resistance band, or even just your own body weight, it becomes so much easier to stick with it consistently. Consistency is key, and that's what really makes the difference over time. Even simple exercises like chair squats, standing leg lifts, or gentle step-ups can target the exact muscles that walking doesn't, and they can be done anywhere, anytime. You don't have to plan a special hour or rearrange your day. That's huge because the simpler and more convenient an exercise is, the more likely you are to actually do it regularly. And regularity is what builds strength, balance, and coordination, the three pillars that keep you independent and safe. Another great thing about minimal equipment exercises is that they're adaptable. If you have limited mobility or a medical condition, a chair or a wall can provide support so you can do the movement safely. If you're stronger, you can add a resistance band or a light weight to make it more challenging. The versatility means these exercises grow with you as your strength and confidence improve without the need for anything complicated. Surgeons love recommending exercises like this because they're effective yet safe. They strengthen the muscles that matter most, support joint health, and improve balance, all without putting unnecessary strain on the body. That's why these movements are often preferred over walking alone for older adults. Walking is repetitive, low impact, and easy to do, but it doesn't target all the areas that need strengthening as we age. These minimal equipment exercises fill that gap perfectly. And here's the thing, because they're simple, you can integrate them into your daily routine seamlessly. You don't need to set aside a huge chunk of time. Even 5 to 10 minutes a few times a day can provide significant benefits when done consistently. You can do a few chair squats while waiting for your coffee to brew, some wall push-ups while watching TV, or a few balance exercises while brushing your teeth. Tiny pockets of movement pad up, and over time, they make a huge difference in your strength, stability, and confidence. Another benefit is that these exercises are less intimidating. Walking might feel safe, but for some people, even going for a long walk can be daunting if they worry about uneven pavement, traffic, or fatigue. Exercising at home removes that anxiety completely. You have a safe environment, you can move at your own pace, and you can focus on proper form without feeling self-conscious. Plus, minimal equipment exercises can also be more enjoyable because they're interactive. You're actively engaging multiple muscles, challenging your balance, and improving coordination rather than just going through a repetitive motion. That keeps your body stimulated and your brain engaged too, which is critical for overall health as we age. And here's another important point. These exercises can be progressive. You can start with the easiest version of each movement and gradually make it harder as your strength improves. For example, you might begin with assisted squats using a chair, then progress to unassisted squats, and eventually add a small weight or resistance band. The same goes for balance exercises. Start near a wall for support, then move farther away as your confidence grows. This progressive approach ensures that your body continues to adapt, preventing plateauing and keeping you strong, mobile, and capable. Minimal equipment exercises also promote independence. By using your own body weight and simple tools, you learn how to move efficiently, safely, and effectively without relying on machines or assistance. That independence in your workouts translates directly to independence in daily life. You become more capable of handling everyday tasks, and you gain confidence in your ability to move freely without fear of injury. And perhaps the most compelling thing about these exercises is that they're surgeon approved. Medical professionals who understand the challenges of aging know exactly which muscles, joints, and movement patterns need attention to reduce fall risk, maintain mobility, and improve quality of life. By doing exercises that don't require elaborate setups but target these key areas, you're following a plan that's not just effective, it's backed by science and real-world medical expertise. That means you're not guessing, you're not wasting time, and you're not risking unnecessary injury. You're actively strengthening your body in the safest and most efficient way possible. So the takeaway is simple. Staying fit after 60 doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a gym membership, heavy equipment, or long, grueling workouts. With just a few minutes a day, a sturdy chair, a wall, or a resistance band, you can perform exercises that are incredibly effective for strengthening muscles, improving balance, supporting your joints, and enhancing overall mobility. These exercises are practical, safe, and progressive, making them perfect for older adults who want to maintain independence, stay active, and prevent injuries without adding unnecessary stress or complexity to their lives. By embracing minimal equipment, surgeon-approved exercises, you're choosing the smartest, safest, and most efficient path to staying strong, capable, and confident as you age. And the results you'll feel in your body and your daily life will be more profound than walking alone could ever achieve.
Now let's talk about one of the most important aspects of staying strong, independent, and healthy after 60, and that's consistency and control. You see, it doesn't matter how good an exercise is, or how surgeon-approved it may be. If it's done incorrectly or inconsistently, you won't see the benefits you're looking for. That's why focusing on slow, controlled movements is so critical. When you move carefully, paying attention to your form, your body gets the full benefit of each exercise.
You're engaging the right muscles, stabilizing your joints, and improving balance in a way that walking alone or rushed movements simply can't achieve. A lot of people over 60 make the mistake of thinking that just moving is enough. They walk a lot or they do exercises quickly, and while they're technically active, they're not necessarily building strength or stability in the areas that matter most. Slow, controlled exercises teach your muscles how to fire properly, which is essential for maintaining balance and preventing falls. Each deliberate movement strengthens the connection between your brain and your muscles, improving coordination and reaction time, which becomes increasingly important as we age. This is one of the reasons surgeons recommend these exercises. They focus not only on muscle strength, but also on functional movement and control. And the beauty of control is that it makes exercises safe. When you move slowly and deliberately, you're less likely to strain muscles, stress your joints, or lose your balance. That's why even simple exercises like chair squats, standing leg lifts, or wall push-ups become incredibly effective when performed with intention. You're not just going through the motions, you're actively strengthening your body and building stability with every repetition. Another reason consistency and control are so powerful is that they create lasting habits. When you focus on performing exercises properly, you're more likely to stick with them over the long term. One of the biggest challenges for older adults is maintaining a regular routine, and exercises that are safe, controlled, and manageable make it far easier to be consistent. Even just a few minutes each day done properly add up to significant gains over weeks and months. It's better to do a small number of movements consistently than to overdo it occasionally and risk injury or burnout. And consistency doesn't just build physical strength, it builds confidence too. When you know you can safely perform exercises that strengthen your muscles and improve your balance, you start to move differently throughout your day. You walk taller, stand steadier, and take on activities that might have felt risky before with more assurance. That sense of confidence is a huge part of maintaining independence as you age, and it comes directly from exercising consistently and with control. Another key point is that controlled, consistent movements help prevent compensations that can lead to imbalances or injury. As we age, it's common to rely on certain muscles or sides of the body more than others, which over time can create weaknesses, poor posture, and a higher risk of falls. By moving deliberately, you ensure that both sides of your body are engaged evenly, strengthening the muscles that often get neglected and correcting imbalances that walking alone does not address. This approach also allows you to progress safely. As your strength improves, you can increase the difficulty of exercises by adding more repetitions, holding positions longer, or incorporating simple resistance tools like bands or light weights. Because you've already mastered control, adding intensity doesn't compromise safety, it just enhances the benefits. It's also worth noting that controlled exercises train not just your body, but your mind as well. Paying attention to form, balance, and muscle engagement requires focus, which helps maintain mental sharpness and body awareness. This mind-body connection is vital for aging gracefully because it improves coordination, reaction time, and overall movement quality. Many older adults underestimate how much these aspects affect their day-to-day life. When your body is coordinated and your mind is aware of each movement, you reduce the likelihood of trips, slips, and injuries, and you gain the confidence to move freely. And the beauty of combining control with consistency is that you create a foundation for long-term health and mobility. Muscles, joints, and bones all adapt over time when challenged appropriately. The improvements in strength, stability, and flexibility compound, making everyday activities easier and safer. You start noticing things like standing up from a chair without gripping the armrests, climbing stairs without discomfort, and walking without hesitation or fear of imbalance. That's the real payoff, and it comes from doing exercises regularly and deliberately. Finally, it's important to remember that progress doesn't have to be dramatic or fast to be effective. Slow, controlled, and consistent movements are sustainable, low risk, and incredibly powerful. They give your body exactly what it needs: strength, stability, and resilience. By focusing on this approach, you're not chasing quick results or flashy workouts. You're building a body that can carry you through life with confidence, independence, and ease. And over time, the benefits you gain from controlled, consistent exercise surpass what walking alone could ever provide, because you're not just moving, you're strengthening, stabilizing, and preparing your body to thrive at every stage of life.